So, Te Toho Te Oro Ngāti Awa, we've been in delivery since Mātua Whāngai in 1989 when John Rangihau produced his Puatea Tatu report. In 1989 we started with 6 tamariki per night in care for 365 nights a year. Today is 2023. In emergency care with Oranga Tamariki, we have 6 tamariki in care per night, 365 days a night. Nothing has changed. However, we now have tamariki with us who are at the highest end, complex needs, needing support because of their historic trauma. We have 6 beds per night, 365 nights a year, dealing with tamariki who are experiencing high-end trauma. That is simply not good enough when you actually have providers who have existed since 1989 as care and protection providers under the Act, so fully capable to provide services, but nothing has changed. So the answer is that the government Department of Oranga Tamariki needs to move and make real change and stop talking about that change, because there are providers out there in hapu and iwi who are prepared and who are ready to take on the task of looking after our own mokopuna. Give us the opportunity to do that. And this report actually says that if you read it in the way I do. But more importantly, when I spoke to Aaron, the director of the Independent Monitor, he said to me that next year they will be focusing on 7AA, which is within the legislation to move our tamariki back to hapu and iwi. They also will be looking at meeting the obligations of te tiriti and the aspirations of iwi to deliver to their own. I think next year is going to be interesting when we can actually put the pressure on the independent monitoring body to talk about how are Oranga Tamariki doing, shifting all of these 6,500 tamariki back to hapu and iwi who put their hand up to do that. So from today's presentation, we had a discussion around the Eastern Bay of Plenty and our desire to move towards iwi providing care for our own tamariki. We believe we can do that with the strategic partnerships that exist with Oranga Tamariki and Ngāti Awa and the Iwi Provider Alliance. So I think that the future is looking very positive under the strategic partnerships that are currently in place and being put in place with other iwi around the motu.